If you're like me and you've seen a couple of thousand YouTube videos throughout the years, you get to hear a lot of voices but not see a lot of faces. So this is my face. That's how I look. Hello. I should trim my nose hairs. This is Polyend Step. It's a love child between a classic drum machine and a stomp box for your pedal board. Polyend himself says that it is the first fully programmable drum machine in pedal format. It's an instrument, a co-writer, or a bandmate in an empty studio. If we look at the outside, we have 6 endless encoders, push sensitive. We have 3 classic foot switches, 1 to punch in effects, 1 to change the drum pattern, and 1 to play and pause the machine. Then at the left we have some very easy to touch small squishy buttons. 4 for each drum track, and then a classic step sequence with 16 pads down here. If we look at the back, we have a stereo output, stereo input, and expression pedal input, MIDI ins and outs, an SD card for your kits and beats, and USB-C and power. So it has every in, every out. I do wonder why they haven't put a guitar input here, and then maybe make it optional that one of the drum tracks could be used as a looper, so you could play in your own chords. Maybe it's a firmware thing we will see in the future. On the inside of the Polyend Step, we find 4 different drum tracks. Each track contains 1 sound. Typically, the first is a type of kick sound. The second one, some sort of snare. The third one, a type of hi-hat or cymbal. And then the fourth, percussion or maybe a type of melodic sound. The idea behind the machine is that you have kits, you have beats, and you have songs. So your kit is the sound of each drum track. So you can have a different kit on each sound. On the inside of the Polyend Step, we find 4 different drum tracks. If you're not interested in making your own type of drum beat, you can just push the song encoder and pick any of the pre-made songs. If you want to try like a jazz club song, it opens it if you rest on it, and then you just push play. And that's a jazz club for you. If you want to change up the preset, you can do so by either changing the entirety of the track or the entirety of the beat, or you can go into the individual beats and change them as you like. There's a limit to 16 steps, which coming from a classic drum machine might seem a bit, well, restricted, but if you want, you can make up to 16 different beats in the same song in the same song, and then you can switch between them with this pattern knob. So if we press play, now nothing changed, but you can see the effect parameter change. So that is the punch-in effect knob. So in this case, it's primarily the effect that changes also the beat in this last pattern. But if you want to make a beat yourself, it's pretty easy. You just pick an empty song, scroll down, new song, and then you have your 4 tracks. And if you want to find a type of drum you like, you press the kit button, which seems a bit odd calling it kit when you only pick the sample, but that's the way it goes. Press it to get to the next menu, and then just scroll until you find a type of sound you like. You can audition it by pushing in some steps, pressing play. Again, it would be nice to have seen like digits or numbers under each step, so you could quickly identify where to put your kicks and snares and so on. And if you like that sequence, then you're good to go. Then you just pick your next track, find again a sound that you like, maybe choose from the same category as sounds, then push in. If you want to make a classic beat. And that's really it. It's really easy to program. It's really easy to get a beat going very fast. I think kudos to Polyend for making a drum machine that everyone can use in a very quick and easy fashion. I would say that's probably the most interesting thing about this, is how easy it is to make your own kick, you don't make your own kick, but how easy it is to program your own sequence in kicks and make a beat real fast. You want to access the features that lie beneath simplicity, you have to use this effect knob. And here you can change the note value, the volume of each track, the reverb sense for it, the panning, and so on. And it's weird because if you want to change like the cutoff, if you want to change the cutoff, you press it and turn the knob. But when you press play, nothing happens. And in my mind, that's a bit odd. I'm used to standard drum machines, and they would implement the effect on the tracks you have already put down, or the steps you have already put down. But in this case, it remembers these settings for the new steps you put in. So if I were to put in a step, now it has the cutoff. In my mind, that's a bit unusual, but you get used to it very quickly. You can also, and I find myself using this, the most, you can hold down a step, maybe the last step, and then change the effect. And now only this step has the effect I just chosen. As I said before, you're limited to 16 steps, but you can always make a new pattern. And you have the possibility of making random step actions. So if we look at the hi-hat track, we could choose the sound first. Just to addition the sound. I'll just choose from the same category of sound. If we want to make it seem like we've extended the 16 steps, we can quickly make a pattern. If we want to maybe spice things up, you can choose the step and we can put in another step, but this step we can go down to the down to the chance page, and if we hold this step in, we can set a chance for the step to trigger. So each time the drum machine goes through a pattern, there's a now 40%. There's a chance that this step triggers 40% of the times. So now, even though we only have 16 steps, it sounds like the pattern is changing because it doesn't repeat itself each time. So I think that's a very neat function, having this chance effect. It makes so that you can create beats that doesn't sound static. Then the last function you have is it's the effect. And this knob controls the effect foot switch. There's a bunch of different effects. Some are real nice. I generally really like these effects. I think they've done a great job in just creating awesome effects. I think just putting in an input and playing with these might even be enough without the drums, but I believe that's why they made the Polyend effect machine, Chaos or whatever it's called, because these effects are just awesome. So just pick one to control with the effect switch. Maybe you could pick the hat trick. And now, even though we still only have 16 steps, it really feels like the beat is more alive, it feels like it's longer and not limited to the 16 tracks. That's pretty much it for the Polyend step. There's a few things I would love to have seen. As I mentioned, I would love that it had a standard guitar or a standard input, so that you could maybe use the fourth track as a loop track where you could put chords or so on and then use it as a tiny looper. By then you could create an entire song. And I also find it weird, and I would also love to have the effects change on the steps you already put in. That would also be advantage when you change the beat. Then you would have the same settings going through the beats. But all in all, it's a real nice, really easy to use drum machine. I think they nailed the outside of it. I think the screen especially is nice, having a big clear screen when you're standing, maybe looking down on your pedal board. The effects are, well, they're quite something, hence the new pedal Polyend made. It's just an easy to use, nice drum sequencer, drum machine, stompbox type thing. Go check it out.